Today we're going to look at all of the add-ons that I'm using in Legion patch 7.0.3. In the video description directly beneath this video there are links where you can download all of these add-ons, including the weak auras that I'm going to talk about. The first add-on is called Add-on Control Panel. What this allows you to do is to bring up a menu that allows you to enable and disable any of your add-ons while you're currently logged into your character. So normally you would have to log out, enable, disable, and then log back in. This allows you to do it, and all you have to do is reload your UI. The second add-on is called Add-on Skins, and this basically, any settings that you've got within ElvUI, it replicates those settings across some of the add-ons that normally aren't skinned. So things like Add-on Control Panel and stuff like that. So this makes everything look consistent. Add-on number 3 is called Archae, and it is for archaeology. It gives you lots of information about where everything is. It tracks you toward the closest dig sites based on where you are. It tells you, how many fragments you've got for something. It gives you lots and lots of information in one very convenient package, and you can click on these things to actually do things like solve your artifacts and all that sort of good stuff. The fourth add-on is called Artifact Trait Link, and it allows you to link your artifact traits much as you would any other item within Legion, within WoW. If I just say I just want to link Skeletal Shattering, if I shift click it, and then I can actually post it to chat, and somebody can mouse over it and they can see the tooltip for that ability. So very handy. The fifth add-on is called Auctionator, and for people who aren't terribly serious about the auction house but you want something that makes it a little bit more convenient to buy and sell, this add-on is really good. So it allows you to create some shopping lists. It adds a couple of extra tabs to your auction house interface. So if I go to the Buy tab, and let's say I want to get some flasks and I want the cheapest flasks, this one automatically filters it through cheapest to most expensive, and then I can click on that one and then I can buy as many as I need. Also for the sell tab, it allows you to just drag an item into it, then you can set the buy price, the sacks, and all that sort of good stuff. Has a lot of default things, so if you always want to have a 48-hour duration, you can set that up within the add-on as well. And it does a whole lot more things apart from that. Add-on number 6 is called Auto Turn-In, and it makes questing really quick and easy. So I don't usually use this on my first character, but certainly when you get into those alts and you know all the quests, you've read all the quest text, it just speeds everything up. So if I, for example, if I go and click on my little quest giver here, the window didn't even appear, it was so quick. So I automatically accepted the quest. If you are turning it in, it does the same thing. Also, if you have items, you can specify for it to select specific items. So for example, for my Demon Hunter here, I would only want things that have maybe haste and crit on them. So it will definitely select those items. Otherwise, it gives you an option, or it will just automatically pick whichever one gives you the most money. Really handy add-on for alts. The 7th add-on is called Bad Boy, and there's a lot of additional parts to Bad Boy which I don't have installed, but it basically controls the chat that you see on your screen. So things like spammers, it automatically filters those out. It makes it really convenient to just click one little link and it will report those people. You can also restrict the level of the people that whisper you. So if you've got a lot of, bank alt characters that are trying to whisper you to join their guild or that kind of thing, you can set a minimum level for people who want to talk to you. Also, if you're not gilded, it can protect you from all the spam whispers if you don't want to be gilded, all that kind of good stuff. Really handy add-on for chat. The 8th add-on is called Can I Mog It? And it basically tells you if you have or haven't learnt an appearance. So let's say I'm in the auction house, I'm looking at some helms, and I don't know, do I have this one learned? If I look in the tooltip, in the bottom right hand corner of the tooltip on the left, you notice there's the orange cross and it says not learned. So I actually don't have this appearance. If I have a look at the Iron Riveted War Helm, I have actually learned this. The one thing that's good about this add-on is it also tells you about things that maybe if you've got a cloth item, you're a plate wearer, you can't transmog cloth, but it will tell you if you can send it to your alt and that person maybe can learn it or they already have it. So it's really good for sort of managing transmogs across a range of armor classes. Really fun add-on. Add-on number 9 is called Clique, C-L-I-Q-U-E, and it allows you to assign key bindings and mouse and key combinations to any of the spells in your spellbook, and then you don't need to put those spells onto your action bar. So let's say, for example, I have Purify here. Now Purify, you'll notice if you have a look at my action bar, it's nowhere to be seen, but it is actually keybound. So if I go to Purify our lovely training dummy here, it works. So by using the key bindings, it can just sort of save you some space on your action bars. Really good for minimalistic UIs especially. The 10th add-on is called Deadly Boss Mods, and it gives you information for any of the dungeon encounters within World of Warcraft. For the current expansion, that comes in the core add-on, which is the one that I've linked in the video description. For other ones, like for Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King content, you do actually have to install the extra information for that one. But it's really good because it gives you like timers, so you can see when X boss ability is going to happen, how long you've got until that happens. It also gives you special warnings for things like if you need to interrupt something and you need to run away, little girl, or run away, that kind of thing. So it's a really handy add-on. I've used it for many years, highly recommend. The 11th add-on is called Death Note. And this allows you to see all of the things that happened right up until your death. So you can see that I've died to falling damage, and it shows me that I lost some buffs just before I died. When you're in an encounter and you've got things like debuffs on you, or maybe you're not getting any heals from the healer because you insulted them, who knows, but you can actually see all of that information. You can specify how many seconds before your death that it actually tracks it, and it also does it for people in your party as well. So when somebody stands in bad, you can say you were standing in the fire for 30 seconds, this is why you died, kind of thing. Really useful add-on, I love it. The 12th add-on is called Details, and it's in the bottom right hand corner of my screen. You can see damage done. So this is all auto attack damage, but it also gives me my healing. So if I use consumption, you can see that I just did 70k healing, and then if I do a few more other abilities, let's get a Death Strike in there, and it gives you a real-time view. So for those of you who haven't been using damage meters before, like Recount or SCADA, those two add-ons also do the same thing. I just like Details because it gives me a few extra features as well. The 13th add-on is called Dungeon Difficulty, and when you use it in something like ElvUI, it allows you to add information about the difficulty of the dungeon that you're entering, including raid difficulties, what you've got them set to, and any legacy raids. So in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, underneath my chat, you can see an M, an H, and a 25H. So current content is Mythic difficulty dungeons. My raid difficulty is Heroic, and my legacy raid difficulty is 25 player Heroic. So it gives you a really quick way just to see what difficulty something is, especially if you're doing pugs and things like that. Add-on number 14 is ElvUI. Now this add-on has got lots and lots of things within it, so just in terms of what you can see on the screen, 99% of everything on my screen right now is covered by ElvUI. So my inventory on the left hand side there, the way that it's skinned and it's one big bag, that's ElvUI. My health frame, the red one with the buffs above it, the party frames that I've mocked up in the middle, the target frame, the orange, the yellow one on the left, the V bars that you can see above the moth over there, and the Moonglow Locust, those are also skinned by ElvUI, the chat bars, the chat boxes, the data text underneath where it says things like Mythic difficulty, durability, it's got my FPS and my millisecond latency, the action bars themselves are ElvUI. The only thing, the minimap as well, the objectives frame even gets skinned by ElvUI, all my buffs. The only two things that are not ElvUI on my screen is Details, which is the damage meter in the bottom right hand corner, and there's a little icon, looks like a stone face in the right hand corner just above where the healing done is. That is also not ElvUI, but everything else is ElvUI. The 15th add-on is called ElvUI Enhanced, and it adds a few different functions to ElvUI, so you do need that add-on in order to use this one. One of the things is it adds a nice little menu for your add-ons. Instead of putting them on the mini-map, it actually adds them to their own sort of a separate menu underneath. There's also raid targeting, and there's a few other quality of life features that it adds to ElvUI. The 16th add-on is ElvUI Transparent Action Bars, and as the name suggests, it allows you to add transparency to your action bars. Again, you do need the ElvUI add-on for it to do anything. The 17th add-on is called Exalted with the Floor, and this allows you to actually gain reputation with floors and dying. And as you can see, I'm neutral. Despite all of my valiant efforts to kill myself, it does actually take a fair few deaths for you to become exalted. But you can see there's dungeon deaths, there's scenario deaths, there's arena deaths. So if you're the sort of person that, you know, wants something a little bit, I don't know, unusual to track, this might be the add-on for you. Add-ons 18, 19 and 20 are all to do with class hall missions and garrison missions. So for the three that we're talking about, Garrison Mission Manager, Master Plan and Master Plan A. And these add-ons just make it really quick and easy to send out your followers or your champions onto missions. It adds buttons onto the sides, and it also allows you to, for the garrison missions, to click one button to do all of your missions and to accept all of the rewards in one hit. It tells you the percentage for each one. So let's say I've got about an hour and 40 minutes roughly, two of my champions will return, or one of my other missions will finish. And if I wait until then, these numbers will appear in the red buttons up here, and then I can click on those and it automatically assigns those champions to my mission. So I don't even need to drag them across, it automatically pops them in, and then I just hit start mission and away you go. So it makes it really, really quick and convenient. Add-on number 21 is called GOH, or Get Over Here, and it adds a couple of interesting features. It adds some fun audio sounds to certain abilities that you use, and it also replies to people automatically if you're, for example, in the auction house, and if you enable the option, if somebody whispers you while you're looking at all those lovely shiny things, it will automatically reply and say that you're busy. If you're in combat and you're the sort of person that can't reply, you know, you can't type when you're in combat for whatever reason, it can automatically reply to that person and say I'm in combat, you know, that kind of thing. In terms of the sound files, it's got a few different ones. So if I go into Death Knight, I've enabled some of them, not all of them, because it gets a bit spammy after a while, but let's say for Death Grip, I've got that enabled. So I'm going to bring over this goat and she's going to scream something at it. Gotcha! Okay, so there's a few different ones. There's Gotcha, there's Get Over Here. You've also got, can I say, more mature options with the rude side of things. Now with YouTube I can't enable this because if you swear you get in trouble. So, but he does swear, or your character does swear. If you have a male character you can also do the Headless Horseman abilities. I unfortunately am female, never thought I'd say that, but these sort of things are also added. Let's say if I want to use Anti-Magic Shield. Got a few sounds like that, and also for Shadow Melt. So some of the sounds aren't unique, but some of the other sounds are actually pretty good. I like the Predator ones, they're pretty nifty. So whenever you use that ability, it's fun for when you're live streaming and that kind of thing. People can laugh at the sounds as they happen. But that is Get Over Here. 22 is GTFO, Get the out. And it gives you audio warnings when you're standing in something that you should not be standing in. So if you're the sort of person that stands in fire, this add-on is probably for you. The 23rd and 24th add-ons are Inbox, Mailbag and Postal. So Inbox Mailbag basically just brings up this lovely little feature where all of the inventory that's been mailed to you appears like it would in your inventory. So it groups all the stacks together, or you can have them separate and it gives you all of the items. Unfortunately I don't have anything on my character at the moment. The second one, Postal, allows you to click one button and then you can just automatically pick up everything that's in your inventory. Mailbag, I guess, shows you a little bit more. You do have to click on each individual box to open it, but I guess in terms of getting a very quick overview of all of maybe your auctions that have sold, it's pretty good for displaying that information. The 25th add-on is called Item Analysis, and it adds information to tooltips when you mouse over someone. So normally when I look at someone, I can see their level, I can see their name and their guild name. If I click on them, it'll actually scan them for things like their spec. It says what their rank is within their guild. It says what their stat weights are, their average item level, and enchantments and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like when you inspect through the armory, this actually puts it all into one bit of information in the tooltip in-game. Add-on 26 is called Macro Toolkit, and it adds a lot of different features to the macro window, including the ability to make the macro window bigger, which is so really useful. I love that feature. But in addition to that, it also gives you, it lets you know about errors, it color codes things. So let's say, for example, I put a space after or space before harm, and then it lets me know that it's an invalid condition, so I can fix up my macros as I go. It also allows you to search for icons. So let's say I have a fire icon. Let's say instead I want water, and it'll go through all the icons and then I can pick which one I want. So it makes finding that icon that you specifically are looking for a lot easier, and I absolutely love this add-on. It's probably one of my favorites. Add-on number 27 is Mix Scrolling Battle Text, and it brings up floating combat text to wherever you like. So you can position it in any kind of configuration, you can put it wherever you like on the screen. So I've got incoming heals on the left hand side and I've got outgoing DPS on the right hand side. The 28th add-on is called Mount Farm Helper, and it gives you a list in a nice tooltip of all of the mounts that you don't have in your collection. It tells you where to get them and also tells you what difficulty they're on. Add-on number 29 is New Openables, and it allows you to add a little icon somewhere on your screen, wherever you want to do it, and you can click on this and it will pick wherever it is in your inventory. It'll actually allow you to use the item. So this, I'm trying to find where this treasure of the ages is. I'm looking around, I can't see it. It presents it all. So if I just click that one, I automatically use this one. I've got another item, I can click that one. And I've got one more, and then I'm done. Okay, so it gives a nice little quick place for you to use all of your openables without having to search through your inventory. The 30th add-on is NPC Scan, and it basically just brings up nice little targeting windows for you whenever there's a rare anywhere near you. It also automatically marks them with a skull and a cross if there's more than one, depending on which one should die first and stuff like that. Add-on number 31 is called OPIE, and it allows you to bring up a nice little wheel with different functions within it around your cursor. So you can do raid markers, target markers, world markers, you can do buffs, food, all of that sort of stuff, and it puts it all in one nice little convenient circle. The 32nd add-on is called Aura 3, ORA, and it's for all the good things to do with raiding, including letting people know if they don't have consumables on, it does ready checks and makes sure that guild bank repairs are actually enabled for people in the raid, and lots of sort of raid-friendly type features. The 33rd add-on is called Overachiever, and it gives you a lot of extra functions for the achievement hunters out there. It allows you to search based on different criteria, and you can also add things to your watch frame, so you can let yourself know how you're going with those achievements and how much further you have to go until you complete them. The 34th add-on is called Paste, and it allows you to paste very large blocks of text to different channels, very useful for multiple TomTom waypoints. Number 35 is Pawn, P-A-W-N. It allows you to put in stat weights for different stats for your character. So for example, for me, Haste is really, really useful, and then after that crit, after that mastery, and after that versatility. So by putting in these values, it'll actually let you know in the tooltip whether an item is an upgrade for you. So let's say I'm in, for example, Court of Stars, and this back piece drops, I can tell immediately from the bottom of the tooltip that it is a 1% upgrade for my Haste crit spec. The 36th add-on is called RC Loot Council, and it allows you as a raid leader to dish out loot and to have people actually decide who deserves to get the loot. You can sign up for something, so if you need the item you get the role and it'll list you as wanting it, and then people can vote and then they can award the item to you from there. The 38th add-on is called Saved Instances, and it allows you to see across all of your characters whether you've done your mythics for the week, what your raids that you're locked to, dungeons that you're locked to, how many resources for garrison resources, all that sort of stuff into one very convenient tooltip. The 38th add-on is called Simple Eye Level, and it adds the average eye level for anybody that you target. So just in the bottom right hand corner of the tooltip it says average eye level, and this person's is 841.4. The 39th add-on is called Simulation Craft, and it is used for sim crafting, but this one is the in-game option that allows you to, at the moment in 7.0.3, SimCraft on the website doesn't actually include artifact, so you need to use the in-game add-on in order to incorporate your artifact in all your traits. Add-on number 40 is /in, and it allows you to actually add a delay to your macros. So by typing /in and then how many seconds followed by whatever command you're going to use, it'll actually incorporate 3-second delay before it does something. So in this case, when I push this macro, in 3 seconds I will animate high. So here we go, push, 1, 2, 3, high, and it works like that. Add-on number 41 is Snowfall Cursor. This little glowy thing that you see around my cursor, that's what this is. The 42nd add-on is called Telemancy. If you've unlocked the portals in Suramar but you're not sure where they lead to, this add-on actually adds little icons to your map to tell you exactly where they are. The 43rd add-on is TomTom, and it adds an arrow to help you navigate to destinations within the game. The 44th add-on is called Transmog Shop, and it adds an extra tab to the auction house where you can search for specific items that you haven't got transmogs for, and then it lists them from cheapest to most expensive. Number 45 is Weak Auras 2. So on my screen, between my health bar and the target bar, there's a whole range of little icons. Some of them are bouncing around, some of them are sliding around, they've got numbers on them. All of that is part of Weak Auras. The left-hand corner toward my chat, you see 110 and 0%. That's an experience circle for XP bars. So I'm 110, so there's no XP in there. On the right hand side you'll see another one that has a blue ring and an orange ring. The orange ring is my artifact power and the blue ring is my ancient mana. These are all weak auras. There are links to these in the video description. Lucky last add-on number 46 is World Quests List, and this basically shows me all the world quests that are available. It filters them, it tells me how much time is left, and I can specify to only see, for example, I only want the ancient mana, the artifact power quests, or I only want the gear quests, and this allows me to see all of this information in one very convenient list. And that's it for my Legion 7.0.3 list of all the add-ons that I'm using. As I mentioned, there are links to these in the video description. But thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your morning, day, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video.